This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So in today's session, in continuation to yesterday, right? So yesterday, what we have discussed about the various aspects of the Power BI, right? Like the data source layers and visualization layers, all how it appears, all those things we discussed, right? Now in today's session, we are going to discuss about the Power BI desktop. Okay, what sort of versions it is available, and introduction to data sources, what is data transitions, and extracting data from various data sources, and what is the dashboard development cycle. That's what we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay, now as everyone knew that Power BI is for what? As I mentioned, Power BI desktop especially, right? Power BI desktop is a Windows based application. With the help of this, we can develop the dashboards in a simple words. Okay, and which allows us to build the queries, data model, or data sets and turn them into visualization of the data. That's what the Power BI, right? Now, in a simple word, this is the layout of the Power BI desktop. Okay. Now, on the top, whatever you are seeing these features, right? Like a view, I'm sorry, like view modeling and this help layer, right? This one, this is called ribbon. Okay. This is called what? Ribbon. And on the left corner over here, you see three layers, right? The first layer is called report view, and the second layer is called data view, and third layer is called relationship view. Okay, ribbon, report view, data view, relationship view, and this dotted lines over here is called report canvas. In this report canvas, you can build the dashboard, you can build the reports, and then turn them into visualizations. Okay, and over here you see this filter layer and this visualization layer, right? This is called visualization pane, and this layer over here on the top right, on the right side, this is called fields pane. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss on our day-to-day basis. We are going to use the features available within these layers. Okay, ribbon layer, report layer, data layer, relationship layer, visualization layer, fields layer. Okay, this is what. Now, with the help of this Power BI desktop, what we can do. Okay, I'm not going to read out all these things. I'll pass on this documentation to you. You can go through it. But on the on the top level, what are we going to? I mean, what are we going to discuss in deeper, right? So, which is what the Power BI desktop capabilities, right? That is get data in the sense you are retrieving the data from the data sources. And with the help of Power BI desktop, apart from the get data, you can also perform creating the relationships and enriching the data model with the new measures and data formats. Which means what? You have, once the data is being retrieved into the Power BI desktop, you have to establish the relationship between them, and you have to enrich the data model as per the business needs, right? And then create reports, and then save your reports. Once you save your report with the help of Power BI desktop, in which format it is going to save, and what is the file extension of the Power BI desktop, right? That is .pbix, which means what? Once you develop a dashboard through Power BI desktop, and if you save it, this is the file extension. .pbix is the extension of your Power BI desktop file. Okay, and once you saved it, you are going to publish the dashboards to the right people, to the right, in the right forum, right? Yeah. Now, here is what you need to do. If you wanted to download our Power BI desktop, right? So all what you need to do is just hit on free download Power BI desktop. There you go. You see what? download Power BI tools and apps, Microsoft, right? Go there. And as I mentioned, it supports only, uh, you know, the Windows based applications. Okay. Now hit on the download here. Okay. Yes, hit on download. So from the Microsoft Store, the corresponding application is going to be downloaded. Okay. See, there you go. You see what? Power BI desktop. Okay. You need to hit on launch. Okay. So that's it. Okay. See. Okay. This is the descriptive information. Okay. All what you need to do, just Google it or free download of Power BI desktop and go to the Microsoft Store. Okay. And launch. That's it. You don't need to do any kind of master's information here. It's very simple, straightforward. Okay. Just download it. That's it. And once it is downloaded, you'll see this icon. Okay. This icon. That's what I have it here. Okay.
So it includes server kind of stuff also, like it's have all these stuffs.
Okay. It's a good point. No, it is only the Power BI desktop. It is only the Power BI desktop. Okay.
Okay, so for server installation, there are some other software to install that.
Exactly. That is called Tableau server. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
That is I'm sorry. That is Power BI server. Okay. Power BI service, you can call it as. So that Power BI service has to be installed. Okay. So that I'll come to that later point of time. What are the ways? What is the cost associated with it? Okay. And within that, what sort of mechanism, like single node installation, cluster node installation. It's a vague concept again. Okay. So I'll come there.
Okay.
Yeah. So once this software is installed, and if you try to open this up, this is the welcome window. You'll see it. Okay. This is the welcome window. If you wanted to go through the Power BI blog, you can refer here. Forums, you have the tutorials. Okay. Now, right. Wanted to buy a Power BI license? Okay. Let's try this. Okay. Let's see what is going to happen. By now, it will route to a different forum. Okay. Where you need to do a sign up with Microsoft, all those things. Okay. See, this is what it appears. Power BI Pro and Power BI Premium. I told you yesterday, right? So it takes you from here. Okay. But we'll come to know that. Okay. If you look at here, see Power BI free, Power BI Pro, and Power BI Premium as well will come in picture. Okay. Yeah. But you'll come there slowly. Okay. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. Now let's close this. Now this is the window. This is what I was trying to convey in the PowerPoint slide here, right? This is called what? Ribbon, right? Ribbon, report view, data view, relationship view, and this is report canvas. This is visualization layer. This is fields layer, right? But yeah, so this is the screen will appear. Now, first and foremost thing, what do? Right? As I was mentioning yesterday, first and foremost thing is you have to interact with your source data. It could be anything, as I was mentioning yesterday, right? It could be a cloud or it could be a on-premise one, whatever, right? Now, here you go. You need to either you can hit on this get data or you can choose the relevant, okay, the relevant data source layer from here. Okay, so anything, it could be a flat file, okay, or it could be any RDBMS database, or it could be cloud, all those that I'm going to walk through with you. Okay, right? See, these are all the things. As I was mentioning, I think day before yesterday, I think yesterday itself, these are all the different data sources which is supported by Power BI desktop. Okay, see, PostgreSQL database, Sybase, Teradata, SAP HANA, SAP BW, Amazon Redshift, Snowflake database, Google BigQuery, Impala, Space, Azure SQL database, okay, whatnot, SharePoint online list, Dynamics Nav, Salesforce objects, Salesforce reports, Google Analytics, okay, LinkedIn sales. Of course, this is a beta versions. You have it here, right? Yeah. Smartsheet you can connect, okay, web, OData feed, SharePoint list, whatnot. Okay, these are all. And you can also connect to a file share. If you have any file share and imagine that you have some Excels is daily uploading there, you can refer that from here. Okay, that is possible. Okay, plenty of stuff available, right? Like they segregated into file based, database oriented, Power Platform oriented, Azure platform, online services, and other services they have segregated for easy understanding. Okay, now imagine that, for example, see, as I mentioned, irrespective of these backend data sources, I don't care whether it is Azure platform or whether it is a database platform, I don't care. All what I need to do is I just need to establish the connectivity. That's it. Once I establish the connectivity with respect to my data source, my dashboard development, okay, is not going to differ. So that's the reason you no need to bother more on the backend side until unless you are architect. Okay, architect has to understand, okay, what is the backend and how it is behaving, what is the dependency, those things. Okay, but even though you are architect guy, he has to take care, like the entire platform, like ETL he has to take care, he has to take care about the database, everything. Okay, but that even though their role of involvement or understanding is going to be minimal, because my job is to develop the dashboards, so I don't care about the backend activity. All what I have to ensure is the connectivity between the data source, whatever the data source, I don't care. All what I have to ensure is the connectivity I have to I have to establish successfully. That is not a big deal. All what you need to do is you need to know the corresponding server and you need to know the corresponding credentials. So that will be provided by the authoritative person from your team, right? Yeah. Now, let's say I would like to use the data source as one of the flat file. Okay. So flat files in the sense what? It could be Excel, CSV, text files, likewise. Okay. Now, now look at this. I'm trying to use Excel is the one of the data source as a flat file, right? Now hit on connect. So now what are you trying to do? Now I am trying to connect with respect to the one data source. Whatever the data source, this is what the steps is going to be. Okay. Now hit on connect. Now look at this. Where is the source file is available? Right? Where is the source file is available? So it could be a file share or it could be your local system. File share in the sense it's a shared folder. From the organizational point of view, most of the time it is going to be a shared folder. So you need to provide that file name where the data set is available. Okay. Now let's say I'm going to use this, for example. Okay. Hit on open. Now it is trying to connect to the data source. Whatever the data source, this is the same steps is going to be involved. Right? Okay. It's saying that, okay, it's saying that it is related to my particular laptop issue. Okay. It's not about, it's saying that one of the OLEDB component is not available in my laptop. That is fine. Okay. Let's try to retry, or else I'll try to edit that. Come on. Or else I'll try to get one more data source. Okay, see, now the connectivity is established. Now this is what, okay, if you look at here the display options, now it is going to show all the tables, okay, available within the data source. Okay, see, look at here. So this is related to the financial table. So table is nothing but what? Rows and columns, right? So table is nothing but rows and columns, isn't it? Yeah. Now this table name is financial, and I have one more table called sheet 1. Okay. Of course, it is a duplicative data, that is fine. Okay. Now transform. I told you, right? Transformation layer. If I wanted to perform any transformations, I can do a transformation.
Ganesh, do you know why it shows the two times? I think one it shows the sheet and
Yes.
another it shows the which one we need to select. We need to select at least only one, right?
You can select multiple, or you can select only one. Okay, but from the realistic point of view, we will be selecting my database. I mean, my data set might be having 100 tables, right? But what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose only the relevant tables for my dashboard.
No, but my question is, in that particular Excel, there is only one sheet, one
Oh,
financial sheet,
okay.
right? So why
Okay,
is it showing double duplicate?
this is the one which I modified to choose, no, to instruct to the students, right? This is what I modified. Okay.
So you are saying in that Excel there are two sheets?
Yes.
Usually I've seen that every sheet it shows double.
Is it?
Yeah, if you just go to the Explorer and open that sheet, I want to see whether it has one sheet or two sheets, because you can, the sheet one is the name of the sheet and financial is the name of the Excel file.
Yeah, it could be, I'll tell you. So it could be, the manipulations what I have done. Okay, but let me show you this. This is the one.
Yeah, so there is one sheet which is sheet one, but in that Power BI it shows you two sheets.
Okay, so it could be some settings. Okay, I'll tell you. So here you have an option. Okay, you have an option called settings. It could be a settings. Okay, you have an option called, okay, options and settings. Okay, so if you go to data source settings, where we can define all these settings. Okay, whether you wanted to have any, like, okay, options and settings. Go to options. Come on. Okay, see, these are all the settings. Could be like, data load. There could be, I might have selected any duplicate row, something like that. Okay, so that could be the reason. So these are all the settings we are going to discuss. See, the data load, right? Type of detections could be one of the reason. All those things it matters, or it could be from my cache. Okay, all these things will depend, but don't worry there. Okay,
But the
yeah.
data in the sheet one, right? Not in the financial tab, or is it in the?
See, if you observe clearly, both the data is same. Okay,
Okay.
it's a duplicative data. Okay, so for now I'm referring only the financial sheet. Okay, now if you wanted to modify anything to the data, okay, or if you wanted to define the modeling over here, you can go to transform data, where we can
Okay. Sorry to
perform.
bother you again on this. What I'm seeing that financial is the sheet name, right? And sheet one is the tab name, and this sheet is containing all these sheets. That's why it's showing the financial name, or that is another thing. Just
Okay,
assuming that.
yeah, okay, I think for now please focus on, forget about this part. Okay, so this part
Okay.
is the data cookup which I have done. Okay, so that why it is reflecting two times here is it could be a setting issue with respect to this particular issue. Okay, so particular sheet I mean to say. Okay, so for now let's park it aside. Okay,
Okay.
let's focus on like the features. Okay, so please don't mind. So I'm going to walk through the different data sources connectivity like SQL server. Okay, all those things that will come in picture, so then your questions will be clarified automatically. Okay, don't worry there. Okay, now, okay, so now let's say out of bunch of tables I'm going to pick up the required tables from here. If I wanted to select all the tables, yes you can. Okay, but your data source might be having hundreds of tables, but all those tables need might not be required for your dashboards. That's the reason we'll be choosing the required tables from here. Okay, now if you don't want, now if I go to, now at this point of time, right now if I hit transform data, okay, now which means what, now the activities whatever is going to happen or appear here is going to be in memory. In memory in the sense it is going to be stored in my RAM. Okay, yes, it is going to be stored in my RAM. Okay, so from here, okay, so now I have the set of tables available here. Okay, now, right, now let's say imagine that in my report level, for example, in my report, okay, I don't want this format to be followed. Okay, so you can change the format. Okay, if you want, you can perform whatever the actions you want. Okay, let's say if I wanted to remove this, you can remove, or you can choose the data type. You can change the data type. For example, let's say whole number, I wanted to have a whole number. See, it's been changed. Okay, do you wanted to change this color item? Yes, replace the current item. See, now the format is being changed. Okay, this is just an example. And moreover, let's say I don't want this to be in my reporting layer, this particular column, so remove it. Okay, see, all these activities you are going to perform in a transform layer. Okay, now this, till this minute, now this entire data or the entire activities whatever I'm performing is going to be stored in my RAM. Okay, so once I close and apply, okay, see, close and apply, now it is going to be load into your desktop, now into your system. Now the data is being released from your RAM and it is going to be stored in my local system. Okay, now once it is loaded into the reporting canvas here, from there you can build the visualizations. Okay, that's what my intention to let you know for today. Okay, so the data sources whatever you are asking, those all things will be cleared automatically, trust me. Okay, so my intention is I want you today I want you to understand the flow of it, then we'll go step by step. That's only the intention, so please bear with me. Okay, now it is trying to load into the canvassing layer. Okay, now see, you see here, right, the table, whatever the table is appearing. Okay, so from the Power BI desktop point of view, we'll call it as queries. Okay, queries. Now under this query I have so many fields available. Now what am I supposed to do? As I was mentioning here, see, look at this. What is this? This is a report layer where it is where it appears all these things. And here you see what, data layer. Okay, since you have only one table, I mean, okay, this is a data layer. See, the data will appear here. Though you have multiple tables, yes, fine, that's fine. The data will appear here again. This is a relationship layer where you can define the data modeling. Okay, those things will come in picture, don't worry. Okay, now, okay, now what am I supposed to do? Now here you can do a renaming, like sample dashboard or whatever. Okay, see, right, now, so in this layer what am I supposed to do? Based upon your dashboard requirement, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to pick the graph. Let's say I'm going to choose the stacked column chart here. Okay, just all what you just double click here. Okay, see, it is been appeared. Okay, now, now here, see, select or drag fields to populate this visual. Now you need to know what am I supposed to place in the x-axis level, what am I supposed to place in a y-axis level. That is what your business requirement will brief. Okay, So for that, each and every organization will follow a set of standards, kind of business requirement document, technical requirement document, functional requirement document. Those are all the things will come in picture. So by referring those documentations, a business analyst will pass on the documentation to a core developers. Okay. So business analysts will have an idea, like, for example, the functional expertise. Okay. Let's say, for example, let's say Shri belongs to a retail sector and he is having very strong knowledge in the retail side. Now he knows the retail data. Now he will give you the requirement to you. Hey, on this x-axis, I wanted to have this information. On y-axis, I wanted to have this information. And these things to be highlighted in this way. He'll put it in one kind of a documentation. I mean, he in the sense, he will give the instructions to the business analyst. Now business analyst convert them into the requirement, and that documentation we will pass it to you. I'll show you some sample one, and I'll show you the some kind of a set of data what I have with me. You'll come to know that. Okay, this is only to understand what am I going to learn in the next 15 or 20 days of time frame. Okay, that's what my intention, to set the expectation. Once the expectation is set right, then we'll go to the deeper discussions. Okay, now what am I supposed to do? Now you should know. Okay, let's say now I would like to know the country wise, okay, the sales prices I would like to know. So now I have, see, the country is what? It is a descriptive information, which means in x-axis, for any graph in x-axis, you are going to have the dimensional information. What is dimension, what is measure, you will come to know, don't worry. Okay, and in the y-axis, let's say I wanted to have the sales price by country I would like to know. Okay, so this is what, right? And you wanted to include the profit. See, sales price and profit by country, you have this description here, right? Now let's say I don't want this graph to be done. Let's say I wanted to have a line chart. See, that's it. Okay, or I wanted to have a area chart. Okay, this is a segregation can be done. Okay, see, now I wanted to have a gross sales. Okay, now look at this: sales price, profit, and gross sales by country, isn't it? See how easy the representation of the data is happening here, right? See the pie chart. Okay, see the map wise. Okay, what? So you can do a refresh or whatever. Okay, these are all the things can perform in this layer. Okay, now if I wanted to build a pie chart, the approach is same. There is no doubt about it. Irrespective of the case, the approach is same. Okay, pie chart is always will be having a summarized information, right? Let's say I wanted to have a products. Okay, products units sold. See, simple. Now do you wanted to turn this into a different chart? There you go. Okay, so that's all. So which means what? All what you need to understand is, you need to understand the business requirement. Okay, now get it. Now you can ask me a question. In this canvas, in this report canvas, can I include multiple dashboards like this? Why not? See, okay, you can. Or if I don't want that, right? Here you can use multiples. Okay, see, and you can also perform the actions, different set of actions, removing spotlights, and you can also export this particular data. Look at this. Okay, see, CSV file or whatever, right? That can be doable. Now likewise you can amalgamate, okay, different representations of your data here. Okay, and if you want, see, you can apply the filters as well. Okay, you have a filter layer here. Okay, see, you can define conditions less than, greater than, whatever, whatnot. Okay, let's say if it is less than or equal to, do you have anything less than, less than, let's say some number of the number of units sold, those activities can be done. You can perform and or operators, whatnot. Plenty of actions can be done. Okay, and in this data modeling layer, you can also do a customization. Customization in the sense, let's say I wanted to define some additional calculations. Yes, that is possible. Okay, and I wanted to define some descriptive information. Is that possible? Yes, absolutely. Right? You can. You can write down here. Okay. See, of course, you don't have any descriptive. Yes, you can do that. Right? See, the descriptive information. I mean, some kind of a disclaimer notes. Right? Those things can be performed. Right?
Ganesh,
Yes.
can we like normally in MS Word or Excel, we can just create a kind of a column or create a table and add a text there, right? Can we add a table here to write a text? Because otherwise, separate a table. Let's say I want to add two columns and want to add a text. Can I do that here?
See, here you have a concept called enter data, right?
So I have to enter the data into the table. Means I just want to enter as a kind of constant text, like about us for my visualization. So I'm just writing a page about us for my visualization, but I
Mm-hmm.
was want to show it on a two tabular columns.
Oh, that is doable. That is absolutely doable. Okay, that is absolutely possible. Oh, come on. What happened? Okay, sorry. Yeah, that is doable. Okay, so that will come in the
How
kind
can I
of
do
a,
that?
yes, that will come in when we are going to discuss about storytelling. Okay, so that discussions will come in there.
Mhm.
Okay, storytelling. Okay, we are going to learn that. Don't worry with that. Storytelling. There is a concept called storytelling, which is helpful to provide the narrative information. Is that what you were referring, right? You wanted to provide some narrative information there, right?
Right.
Yes, that is absolutely doable with the concept called storytelling. You will come to know that. Yes. Okay. Now, here, apart from these, right, you have a different options are available, like modeling. There is a concepts called data merging, data appending, right? All those things we are going to discuss in our upcoming sessions one by one. See, if you wanted to define any new measures, right, new parameters, what am I going to do, how we can do a restriction can be done to a dashboard, all those things will come to know. Okay, now, okay, so now in our upcoming sessions what we are going to discuss is how we can connect it to a different data sources. For example, we'll consider one flat file, we'll consider SQL Server database, we'll consider OData. Those are all the examples we are going to. And from there, this is just only for the simple understanding purpose. Trust me, this today's session is only to let you know, because we have in the participants we have a different set of background people are there. So I want everyone to bring into the same page. That's the main intention. If I'm not able to bring everyone on the same page, then my role is not suit enough, right? That's the reason I'm providing this basic information for now. Okay, so trust me, we are going to have a deeper discussions, okay, where on the day-to-day basis, right? See, we are going to discuss SQL Server integrations, Power Query editors, what is DAX, all those things will come in picture one by one. Okay, please bear with me. We'll go in a structured way. Okay, and sometimes I might pause your questions, because your questions, the moment we are going through our sessions, your questions will be clarified automatically. Okay, that's the reason I'm pausing intentionally. I will definitely pause few of the questions intentionally, because I have a reason for that. Okay, yes, and yeah, and I'm hearing some music. I think, yeah, Michael, do you have any questions? Yeah. Okay. So those things we'll be discussing. Trust me. So all what we need to do is please be patient. We're going to discuss one by one. Okay. Yeah. Now, OData, anyhow, that we are going to discuss starting from tomorrow. Okay. Now, I would like to spend some time on the dashboard development life cycle. Okay. Which means, which means, in let's say you are allocated a role called dashboard developer. Okay. So what kind of a cycle it is going to be involved, right? So let's discuss there. Okay. Now, in the dashboard development cycle, right? First step, what do you do? As I mentioned, you will do a extraction, right? So extracting the data from data source. That is the first step. I mean, that is the first phase you are going to involve. So in this phase, you might be required some kind of a documentation from the concerned business analyst or the functional expertise, right? To understand the nature of data, okay, and to understand what kind of a data source, and to get the details, like, let's say if I wanted to establish the connection, I should have a details to interact with the backend data, right? Like you should know the server name, you should know the proper credentials, or you should have access. All those things you should aware. So in this phase, you will be required information how to extract the data from the data source. You need to reach out to the functional expertise to get the required information. I will show you some kind of a functional design documents how it appears. Okay. And the next step, you are going to be involved in the data transformations by using Power Query, of course. So simple, forget about Power Query editor. Just keep in mind that data transformation layer. So yes, in this transformation layer, you are going to trim the unwanted data, or you are going to define the data model, or you are going to define the relationship under your data model. That's what you are going to perform. And once that data transformation is being done, then you will be loading into the Power BI desktop. And from there, you are going to define the relationships. Relationships in sense, yes, you have to define the relationship between the tables, or define relationship between the queries. What sort of relationship it is having, right? So you will come to know that in our practical sessions. You will come to know how the establishment of the relationship will be done. You will come to know that. Okay. And then you need to define the dimensions and measures, or some kind of a calculations, custom calculations, apart from the default calculations, right? Your business might require, your business might ask for the customization of the requirement. Those things will come in this layer. That phase will come in picture. And then once this phase is done, the data security, okay, or the data visualization. So sometimes few organizations, once the dashboard is visualized, once the dashboard is developed, then they will implement the data security. Vice versa case in this phase. Okay. So in this, let's say if you wanted to implement the data security, you should know the requirement, right? Yes. So for example, depends upon the line of business. Okay, I mean, line of business in the department, I meant to say. So each and every department will be having different set of data requirement, data security in terms of, okay, data confidentiality. Okay. If it is, let's say, HR data, human resources data, it is highly confidential. Only the concerned team members will be having access. So if that is the case, so the security requirements you should understand. Okay, you'll come to know, okay, so some guys need edit permissions and some guys need read only permissions. Such kind of a requirement you should understand. Okay, or some guys need only the row level restrictions. Only such certain rows they will be able to access, and the certain rows they are not supposed to. That kind of requirements will come in picture. And then the visualization, and then the distribution. How my dashboard, which I developed through Power BI desktop, how I can distribute it, right? Distribution in the sense, what is the channel to distribute? That's where the sharing also will come in picture. Do you want it to share through email? You wanted to share through any web browser? You wanted to share it through any mobile device? And from there, and then the scheduling will come in, scheduling of data, which means ultimately at the end of the day, your dashboard should have an updated data, the latest information, right? So for that, I mean, in that phase, you should collect the information, right? What is the frequency of the data refresh? What is the recurrence, right? And the distribution, I mean, the output in which mode is that you are expecting in a PDF format? Is that you are expecting only in the visualization format, or you are expecting the output in any different, like the mobile configurations? Likewise, we need to gather that information. Okay, so these are all the different phases will come in picture while you develop a dashboard. Okay, hope uh, hope you have understood this. Any questions, especially on this layer? Any questions?
Yeah, this is Michael.
Yes, please. Yeah.
So I know, so for us to be able to move data from SQL, do we need to sign up for SQL to experiment that?
To be honest, not required. I can help you out to provide some, kind of a self-instructive information. That should be enough. Okay.
Okay.
I can help you out with that. Give me a couple of days of time frame, and I'll help you out to distribute all this material and everything as well. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So Ganesh, you told us that we can do the security level as role level. So we can do on the on the desktop version or on the web version. That
Yes. In the desktop version, there are certain limitations are available. Okay. But in the server version, you have 100%. There is no restrictions. Okay. Yes.
okay. So we can do on the desktop version also.
Yes, mostly the row level restrictions will be done at a desktop versions, and also, of course, it is also available in the server version as well. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So Ganesh, one thing I want to see basically is, when we do the row level security, right?
Mhm.
So let's say for a team, I do a row level security, that team can see only their data, right?
Exactly. Yes.
But now that's okay, they're seeing the owner, but in a kind of a separate table, I just want to show the organization level data to the team. Okay, this is the organization data. Just you can say calculations. Okay, this is the total of organization. But when you do the row level security, what will happen? It's difficult to show the organization level data there. That's that how we can do that. I want to see that somewhere.
Okay. Yes, I got you. Yeah, I got you. So here two things can be achievable. One is role based as well as security. I mean row level. Role in the sense, let's say, what is your role? Let's say if you are a power user, you can distribute that output into a different format and you can visualize it in a different way. Or if it is a security, I mean row level security, by implementing a separate table and you can describe that. Okay, there is a concepts, there are a well-defined concepts for that. Probably, to be honestly speaking, whenever I get a chance during our course of time, I'll touch base that. Okay,
Yeah,
so
just
that is
keep in mind.
doable.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. I have it in my mind. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think this is what today I just wanted to give a heads up before I start a practical discussions on this Power BI desktop. Okay, so we'll come to know one by one. In all the features, we are going to touch base. Okay, one by one, we are one by one. But starting from tomorrow, yes, we are hitting towards the practical implementations. Okay, so this is it. Now, so tomorrow onwards, we are going to interact with the different sets of data. Like it could be a OData, it could be a SQL server. Okay, and I'm going to present some documentation to you how to interact with the Azure SQL database. Okay, and some flat files. Those things I'm going to touch base. And starting from tomorrow, it's purely the practical kind of a discussions. And whenever I touch base any new topics, I'm going to throw some kind of an insight of it, like kind of a descriptive information I'll provide, and from there we can touch base the practical informations. Okay. Now, before we wind up, any other questions for today?
No, thank you.
Sure. I hope it is not a overhead information. If it is, if that is the case, please let me know, because I need to consider all the participants in my session. That's only my intention. I don't want my purpose is only to be served only to the set of people. No, my purpose to be served for every participant in the discussion. That's only my intention. That's the reason I'll tune my way of teaching depends upon all the participants in the session. Okay. Yeah. If, for example, let's say if I have all the core developers in my team, my way of teaching would be totally different. Okay. So that's the reason in the day one I tried. That's the reason in the day one I try to understand all the pulse of the participants and try to understand the background. So that's only the intention. Okay. So but we will be covering all the aspects what we are promised, and I'll ensure that. Okay. All right. Any other questions, please? Otherwise, we are good to drop off for now. We'll catch up tomorrow at the same time by going a deeper dive discussions into the practical situations of the Power BI
No.
desktop.
All right. So I know I came late. When are we going to be able to? Have you given us instruction to download the?
Download of Power BI desktop.
Yes.
Yeah, I think during the initial 5 minutes I already discussed that. Probably you can go through the recorded session. Okay, so I'll ask the class folks probably to share the video record to you. So that's matter of 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, it's very easily instructions you can
Okay.
go
All
through.
right.
Okay, or
And
else you can do from here. Okay, now look at this. Let me ping you the you know the chat message. Okay, so let me ping you. Come on, oh, it's not happening. Yeah, let me. Okay, wait. Why I'm not able? Okay, oh, come on. Give me a second. I'm trying to ping the download URL.
oh,
Yeah, it's for everyone. Yeah. Okay, from here, okay, you can download the Power BI desktop here. Okay,
okay.
this is self instruction. Okay, so just look at this. See the Microsoft Power BI desktop, right? Just download
Okay.
this. It
Okay.
supports both on your Mac as well as sorry, it supports only on Windows. I'm sorry, it supports only on the Windows. Okay,
Okay. All right.
all right. All right, then, if you don't have any other questions, we are good to drop off for now. Have a good night. We'll catch up again tomorrow at the same time. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.